Hello, gentlemen and the occasional lady. I'm Luke. I'm tasting whiskey, and you can join me. So today's whiskeys are the Glenlivet 15 here and the Glenfiddich 15. And I'm continuing. This is a continuation of a series I'm doing on Glenlivet and Glenfiddich. Previous video was the 12-year-olds. This is going to be the 15-year-olds, and the next video will be the 18-year-olds. So what do we got here? Glenfiddich 15. This is a Solera whiskey. Solera system, or Solera, they're using a Solera vat. I don't know what the terminology really is, but basically they're taking whiskey, they're putting it in a big vat to marry it, and they take out half to bottle, they fill it back up again with various kinds of 15-year-old whiskey. And those various kinds of 15-year-old whiskey are going to be bourbon matured, sherry matured, and whiskey that's been matured in new oak. So probably what's happening is they're putting in some whiskey that's been matured in poor oak, and they need to balance that out with some whiskey that's been matured in brand new oak. I don't know actually if this new oak that they're talking about here is new as in first fill bourbon or new as in brand new oak. So who knows? Okay, so the Glenlivet 15 is their French oak reserve. And what they're doing with this one is taking their 12-year-old and portioning off some of that to continue maturing to 15 years. And the other bit, they're transferring to brand new, as in never been filled with spirit before, brand new French oak barrels. French oak, I did a little research. I can't quite figure out what French oak will give to the whiskey, but it is oak. I'm guessing it's going to give some kind of bourbon style flavor. And if you were to mature a whiskey in the United States for 3 years in a brand new oak barrel, you would have bourbon. So this should be quite bourbon-y. Anyways, let's start with the Glenfiddich. Let me get my notes out here. Yes, so the sherry that they're putting into the vat is coming through for sure. Nice richness. The alcohol hotness has mellowed quite a bit in the 3 years that they've matured this over the 12-year-old. I mean, I can really get my nose in here and sniff, whereas with the 12, you kind of got to add a little water to help you along. It's not terribly sweet. There is definitely brown sugar there, but it's not as rich and sweet as other whiskeys that have that kind of brown sugar and molasses sweetness. Along the lines of sherry, raisins, dried fruit, a little bit of lemon pith, some waxiness. So when I was smelling this before, I'm getting it a little bit here. This is going to sound really weird, but I get kind of a skunk type smell, but it's more like a skunk sensation where sort of in the back of your nose you get, it's kind of like a heavy constriction richness type feeling, and I get that here. So it's probably something to do with the sherry, I think. But it just hits you right, like back behind your nose. Cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves. It's very spicy. It's like it's a lot like a stewed applesauce, stewed spicy applesauce. All right, taste. Let's move on. So it starts with bourbon, then the sherry shows up. So it's like it's very nice body, but basically you get like a vanilla and a little bit of spice, and then you get more dried fruits, more richness, and then it comes back to the bourbon actually, and it finishes strangely. It's finishing more with sherry actually, so it goes back and forth between the two. Leathery. On the finish, it's like a stewed tea or the finish of a red wine, a little tannic. Okay, let's add a little water. Move on to the Glenlivet. So these are both bottled at 40%, but I like to add a little water just because I find that that little bit of water sometimes will open things up. Although, ooh, I like this Glenlivet 15, I will say. So Glenlivet 15, let me get my notes out. So definitely getting more bourbon here. It's just along the lines, more bourbon whiskey. There's not really sherry in here, but it's nice and mellow. It's not hot like a bourbon, like a 3-year American bourbon, three-year matured American bourbon. It's nice and mellow. Lots of vanilla, grapes, quite a bit of grapes. Actually, what I'm getting is the smell that you get when vineyards are being harvested. Actually, that smell that's in the air. It's like a light, kind of a white sugar sweetness. It's a smell that I noticed in the Balvenie 15-year-old, the single cask. I think that's what it is. I did a video on Balvenie, a 3-bottle sampler. It's in there. Very much is like a spirit of bourbon, like the 12-year-old. Taste. Okay. So starts out, I think the French oak that they're doing with this brand new French oak is really bringing a lot of bourbon forward, bourbon flavors. So it actually starts out it tastes to me like a bourbon, honestly. Not as hot as a bourbon. The alcohol has mellowed, but very much like just like a bourbon, like Buffalo Trace bourbon. And then kind of settles down a little bit, and you get more like bananas. I get a little like creamy peachiness kind of taste. Quite pleasing. Not too complex, but good. On the finish, not a whole lot going on. Relatively short. Not anything bad, which is a good thing. Let's add a little water. And come back to the Glenfiddich. You see here. Yeah, not a whole lot has changed. A little bit more spiciness, maybe some mint as well. And cloves. Cloves for sure. Good, rich. It's well balanced. I will say that the Glenfiddich 15 is more balanced than the Glenlivet. Basically, I think what's happening is with that little sherry backing it up, it kind of gives it that body, that good solid base to work from, and it just helps it along a little bit on the balanced scale. So conclusions on this: the nose has improved greatly over the 12. The finish is better than the 12 for sure. But I find the wininess of this with the sherry maturation just a little bit off. Overall, moderately interesting. My score for the Glenfiddich 15, 85 out of 100. So 1 point more than the 12. Glenlivet 15, conclusions on this one. Oh wait, let me have another taste, please. So water, with a little bit of water, I actually get some flinty stone smells and a little bit more spices, cinnamon, and some pine actually. Water doesn't really, actually, body, I get a little bit more bananas on the body now. So conclusions on Glenlivet 15. Quite interesting and entertaining. The Glenlivet 12 has a fun nose, I think. And with the French oak that they've done for this, it's kind of brought the body and the finisher. Well, the finish, it brought the body around for sure. So both now the nose and the body are interesting. Finish, you get what you get. Much more interesting than the 12, more mellow and easy drinking. And my score for the Glenlivet 15, 86 out of 100. So that's Glenfiddich 15, 85 out of 100, and Glenlivet 15. Am I getting the names right? Glenlivet 15, 86 out of 100. So I know, Calm 1531, you didn't enjoy the Glenlivet 15, but you should find some time to try it again. I think you may have gotten a bad bottle because I really enjoy it. Okay, right, good. Glenlivet 15, Glenfiddich 15, we're all set. The next video is going to be the 18-year-olds, which I think are a little bit more traditionally matured. They're not being experimental because they got 18 years, and if they screw it up, they've wasted 18 years. So we should be interesting though, because 18-year-old whiskeys are starting to get into the more the nicer style, I guess. They're a little bit more posh, something like that. So we'll see. We'll find out. Okay, until next time, bye-bye.